सामां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेष जाड्यापा. O Goddess Saraswati, remove my darkness of ignorance and lead me towards the light of knowledge and wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Bhatkar has already expounded his views on education brilliantly. And Dr. Vishwanathan has already told you many things about private education. But let me first tell my views on the importance of education. Dr. Mashelkar is one of the finest minds in Pune. And he once said in a speech that the most famous equation that all of us know is Einstein's equation of V equal to mc square. But he also said that there is more important equation and more relevant equation as far as India is concerned. And that equation is E equal to F, where E stands for education and F stands for future. In any country, ladies and gentlemen, education is the future of the country, future of the children, future of the youngsters, and future of everything. For this our purpose of Hindu Educational Conference, I would like to impress upon you a very important role of education, and that is the education should and must transform young minds, young student population into dynamic and vibrant human resource. As I told you, I am going to speak on self-finance universities, their challenges and opportunities. But before that, Dr. Vishwanathan, allow me to repeat, let us take a review of higher education in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, our higher education system is the largest in the world. Larger than US, larger than UK, larger even than China. How large it is? Central universities, 45. There are 322 state universities, 120 deemed to be universities, 192 private universities, total 687 universities. And how many colleges are there? According to 2013 position, there are 35,000 colleges and there are 26.5 million students in different universities and colleges. And how many number of teachers? 8,17,000 teachers are teaching in universities and colleges. Next, aligned to higher education, number of colleges and number of universities, the most important aspect of higher education, ladies and gentlemen, is gross enrollment ratio. GER as we call it, which means percentage of students in the age group of 17 to 24 in higher education system. It is, GER is nothing but the barometer of education. And you will find that GER is directly proportional to the development of the country. For example, in USA, GR is 94. UK, GR is 62. Brazil, 36. China, 26. Bharat, 20. You will find that the largest educational system has the lowest GER. And do you know, surprisingly, South Korea has 100 GER. And the world average has told to you by Dr. Vishwanathan is 27. Ladies and gentlemen, government proposes to increase the GER to 30 by 2030. But whereas the reality is, the Bharat will require 800 new additional universities and 40,000 colleges in next 8 years. Ladies and gentlemen, there is hunger for education, higher education in our country. Because 50% of our population is below 25. By 2020, Bharat will be the youngest nation in the world. And most importantly and significantly, the middle class in our country, ladies and gentlemen, is increasing. And the result is, people of belonging to middle class are ready to pay for quality education. Now I come to financial, self-finance universities and their challenges. Traditionally and historically, private university has played a great vital role in our country. For example, Banaras Hindu National University was established as private university by Pandit Madan Mohan Malvi. Ferguson College in Pune, where I had a fortune of teaching for 20 years, was established by Lokman Tilak, Agarkar and others. Indian Institute of Science was established by Jamshedji Tata. Raj Shikshan Sanstha, the largest educational institution in Maharashtra and perhaps in India, was established by Karmavir Bhaurao Patil. And surprisingly, you will find, as told to you by Dr. Vishwanathan, 64% of higher education is provided by private sector. But there are challenges also. And which are those challenges? The most important challenge is government is suspicious of self-finance universities and institutions. Why? Government thinks they are corrupt. They are substandard, they provide substandard education. They are family-based and they charge donation and capitation against admissions. I am sorry to say that some of us are responsible for this. Let us not hide the fact. But there are challenges to ourselves. We should improve our image by performance and transparency and not by ads on TV and in newspapers. We should refrain from greed. There is nothing wrong in having family-based private institutions because many industries, NGOs are family-based. How the universities run is more important than who runs them. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, some of our critics shame our critics by our performance. I will give you only one example. I said shame our critics by our performance. There is one classic example which I would like to give, and that is International School of Business in Hyderabad. It is neither approved by AICTE nor affiliated to any university. But government of Andhra Pradesh has given 60 acres of land to them. And that institution, neither approved by AICTE nor affiliated to any university, has found place among global ranking. This is the way our private universities should think about. Now I come to opportunities. Now there are 800, if there are 800 new universities and 40,000 colleges are required by our country, then here lies the opportunity for the private sector. Prime Minister Modi has told us the concept of demand, demographic dividend and democracy. This also applies to private universities, and private universities can start their own institutions. 600 million youth are required to be given jobs. And if private universities decide to start skill-based educational institutions and provide jobs to our youngsters, then we will be fulfilling the great expectation of our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, regarding demographic dividend. We should also, private sector should also establish online and distance learning education because they are affordable. Now, here comes a very important part of my life, of my speech, and that is expectations from government. First expectation is government should recognize the role of self-finance universities and institutions. Second is allow them to grow and develop without punitive regulations. Looking with suspicion will not improve the situation. Create single regulatory and accreditation body and reduce the number of councils such as AICTE, Medical Council, Bar Council of India, etc. All over the world, private universities are increasing. Many of them are among the world-class universities. Of the 20 US universities, and this is very important, of 20 US universities in QS World Ranking in 2013-14, 15 were self-financed and 5 were public. Hence, there is bright future for our self-financed universities or institutions. The most important thing is those sitting in power should use power to help powerless. And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, in 1947, Bharat Mata became freedom. In 1991, Lakshmi Mata became freedom. The question is, when Saraswati will become freedom? We chanted the Saraswati prayer to begin with, but I am sorry to say, Mr. Tiwari, Dr. Tiwari, that our Saraswati is not free. And as he rightly pointed out, permit and permission Raj is still there. And believe you me, no country will flourish unless education is made free. Thank you.